Tonight, a state house debate over Idaho Governor Brad Little's coronavirus emergency declaration has reached a new level. Many state lawmakers who, like the governor, are Republicans, are seeking to end the current emergency declaration and limit the governor's authority in the future. Earlier today, Governor Little took his case to the public, warning that many relief efforts, including the COVID-19 vaccine rollout to Idahoans, could be in jeopardy if those in the legislature end the emergency declaration. Our Katia Stepovic spoke with local health experts about what this all could mean. What have you found out?
Well, Carolyn, members of Idaho's COVID-19 advisory committee say that the demand for this current vaccine is much higher than the supply, and that ending this emergency declaration could make matters much worse.
I want the people of Idaho to know that I am firm in my assertion that the actions of the Idaho legislature severely jeopardizes our ability to roll out vaccine and bring the pandemic to an end in Idaho.
Governor Little taking to the podium Friday, urging Idahoans to contact their legislators to help put a stop to passing a bill that he says would reset all of the pandemic progress that the state has made.
It means the vaccine rollout is jeopardized, something that is unacceptable in this final stretch of our pandemic fight.
It would be a disaster that would impact lives in terms of serious illness, hospitalizations, and ultimately deaths.
Health experts across Idaho also agreeing with Governor Little that ending the emergency declaration would jeopardize vaccine and resources, something that frontline workers cannot afford to lose even a fraction of.
We are not at a stage where those frontline healthcare workers can afford to let the foot off the gas and take a break and have to figure out how are we going to pay for these resources if we no longer have the access to the federal funding to do that. Now's not the time to do that.
Brian Whitlock, CEO of Idaho Hospital Association, simply says healthcare workers have benefited from aid in testing, staffing, equipment, and help from the National Guard, and to wipe it all away would be a harmful mistake.
We just have a lot of uncertainty ahead of us, and to take a pause and not continue to press forward could have devastating effects on Idahoans in the long run.
And CEO at Primary Health, Dr. David Peterman, says the governor is right. Now is not the time.
It gets me very upset that we even have to spend our time arguing about this. We need the governor focused on getting us more vaccine. Our allocation of vaccine would decrease. We can't have that. We could use double, triple, 4 times as much vaccine to vaccinate Idahoans.
Throughout the pandemic, I have endeavored to protect you, your loved ones, and our economic prosperity. I will never relent in that pursuit.
Now, starting in February, the next group that will be eligible to receive the vaccine are those people aged 65 and older. Now, Carolyn, that is a very large group that could potentially be impacted by changes of vaccine supplies.
Well, we appreciate you digging a little deeper tonight. Thank you so much. Today for the 208, Brian Holmes interviewed Representative Megan Blinksma, the House Majority Caucus chair. Responding to the governor's remarks, she said she doesn't believe lawmakers are putting federal funds at risk.
Now, there might be some that would prefer not to take any federal dollars ever. But for the most part, what we're trying to do is figure out how to address the concerns of our constituents that we've been hearing for months now.
Can you give me an example of some of those that you have heard from your constituents?
It's primarily with the original orders about the suspension of Idaho statute. I know there have been concerns about how the governor suspended statute and how he treated the elections. I know there are concerns regarding the public health orders. I assume that you probably know that I sit on Central District Health, so I've borne the brunt of the emails there. And I think that people have legitimate concerns, and we're working to find the answers. And we have been unable, until we came into regular session in January, to address those concerns through the legislative process.
And more from Brian's interview with the representative is on our website at ktvb.com. House Republicans also released this statement saying that the governor's comments do nothing but complicate the process. They also say Republican House members are working on legislation to help Idaho on the road to recovery, and they call on the governor to work with them. Republicans in the Idaho Senate are also weighing in on the governor's comments. In a written statement sent late this afternoon, leaders of the Senate Majority Caucus say they appreciate his concerns, but they also say his comments, quote, categorically malign legislative efforts as the Senate works to address what they say is the much-needed rebalancing of power. And they say the Senate has not advanced any legislation that would jeopardize federal funding.